Alola! Hello everyone, my name is Ozzymitsu and welcome back to my channel. As you may be aware, uploads this month will be related to hashtag Alola month. Unless you're new, in which case, salutations newcomer. This month you'll be getting episodes of the Sun Wonderlock every single day, but every Tuesday of this month you'll be getting an evolution solution video analysing the regional variants found in Alola with their Cantonian counterparts. Originally the series involved comparing an unevolved Pokemon with Eevee and its evolutionary counterpart. However, I've somewhat expanded the series due to popular demand. To view the first episode of this series where I discuss the phenomenon in its entirety, click on the icon on the top right hand corner of your screen. I've also placed a handy little link to the entire playlist in the description below for your convenience, so please enjoy. However, to kickstart the series to Alola month, I've decided to analyse Raticate and Alolan Raticate. So let's not muck around and get this analysis underway. Let's begin with Cantonian Raticate. Cantonian Raticate evolves from Rattata starting at level 20. It is a normal type, meaning it only has a weakness to fighting. It has no resistances, which means it receives neutral damage from 16 types, whilst having an immunity to Ghost. Its typing does complement its stats, as for me personally, it isn't really considered a competitive Pokemon. It has some pretty poor stats, with its highest being a slightly above average speed stat of 97, but also has an 81 base attack stat, showcasing if you really wanted to use Raticate in competitive play, it would adopt the role of a physical sweeper. Kind of. Sort of. Not really. It really is awful, I'm sorry, I just can't. Let's move on to its abilities. Maybe there's some saving grace for this Pokemon. Raticate has 3 abilities in total. One of its primary abilities are Runaway. Nope, I can't deal with this today. I'm not analysing this Pokemon. It's horrible. Truly horrible. Fine. I guess I owe you guys this much. So, its primary ability, Runaway, makes escaping wild battles easier. Looking at the bright side, this means if a Pokemon uses moves like Infestation or Mean Look on you, you can... Oh wait, no you can't, because it literally has no uses in competitive battling. It only works for wild encounters. Anyway, its more useful ability in my opinion is its second ability, Guts, which essentially increases a Pokemon with this ability's attack by 50% if it has a status condition. So if it's burnt, its attack stat isn't actually decreased, which is why sometimes you'll see people run a Flame Orb on Pokemon with Guts, but a Toxic Orb can work just as well. Its hidden ability is Hustle, which basically increases the user's attack by 50% in exchange for lowering its accuracy by 20%. This only works on physical moves. Special moves are unaffected under this ability, which again is why if you ever see a Raticate in competitive play, it'll more likely be running a physical set. In my opinion, the best ability for this Pokemon is Guts, mainly because its defenses are poor anyway. It's suffering from a condition that'll wither its HP down, doesn't really matter. You'll need to take out anything in your path until you faint. There's no real use of having this guy on the field for too long. I guess this is the part where we jump on Pokemon Showdown to see what kind of sets we can run. So let's get started. What I was thinking was the following. Opt for the Guts ability whilst having Raticate hold a Flame or Toxic Orb. Run Facade, which not only gets Stab, but coupled with its Guts ability and the fact that Facade's base power is doubled if the user is burnt, poisoned or paralysed, can do some insane damage. It's a pretty common staple for Raticate in my opinion, so there's no real surprises there. I'd also run Crunch to be able to hit Ghost types, as well as Zen Headbutt, which is a tutor move to cover its fighting weakness. And finally Protect to allow a turn for the Flame or Toxic Orb to inflict a status condition on you to benefit from its Guts ability on the next turn. In terms of the Eevee Spread, it's pretty obvious. Max attack, max speed, and the rest in HP. Opt for the Adamant Nature or Jolly depending on whether you want to be faster but not hit as hard, or be able to hit hard but risk attacking last. Another set I think would be pretty fun is the following. Endeavour and Quick Attack, that's all you really need, but if you really want to, you can run 2 other attacking moves like Crunch or Zen Headbutt, so you're not useless against Ghost types. Slap a Focus Sash on this guy and bam! The idea here is to get hit by your opponent, which will most likely take you down to your Focus Sash. Using Endeavour means you'll be taken down to 1 HP more than likely, and then on the next turn go for a cheeky Quick Attack to take your opponent down. Of course this strategy is shut down by Ghost types, but also due to Generation 7 being such an anti-priority gen, you'll encounter some problems. I know that Cantonian Raticate is not available in Sun and Moon, but if you transfer your Cantonian Raticate to Alola and you want to run this, just keep that in mind. Also, I believe in VGC this Pokemon would be banned, so take that as you will. Let's move on to Alolan Raticate and hope it's better than Cantonian Raticate. So, Alolan Raticate evolved from Alolan Rattata when leveled up at night starting at level 20. It is a dual dark normal type, meaning it has a 4 times weakness to fighting with the addition of a weakness to bug and fairy. It does have a resistance to dark and an immunity to both ghost and psychic. Its stats aren't much better than its Cantonian counterpart. It has slightly better defenses but can't hit as hard. The alterations do not benefit Alolan Raticate at all because the things its Cantonian counterpart excelled at, the Alolan variant can't, and the exchange for buff defenses in relation to Cantonian Raticates doesn't really help you out either, as its defenses are still below mediocre. Notably, Alolan Raticate has a higher hit point, defense and special defense stat, whilst Cantonian Raticate has a better physical and special attack, whilst also being faster. Similarly with Cantonian Raticate, Alolan Raticate also has 3 abilities. One of its primary abilities are Gluttony. This basically encourages the user to consume berries that would usually be consumed at 25% HP at 50% HP. Most notably, this would mainly affect when a citrus berry is consumed. It does doesn't really affect the consumption of berries which are not related to HP, so for example, a leopard berry. Its second ability is Hustle, which we touched upon previously, which basically boosts physical attacking moves in exchange for a 20% drop to its accuracy. It also has the hidden ability Thick Fat, which essentially halves the damage taken from fire and ice type moves. In terms of a moveset, I don't think it would be much different to its Cantonian counterpart, as they both learn the same moves through level up, though Alolan Raticate has access to slightly more TMs. Unfortunately, because it loses its Guts ability, it'll have to make do with the high risk, high reward set by opting for the Hustle ability. I'd run Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, Return, and Crunch. Pop either a Life Orb or a Focus Sash on this guy, up for the Adamant nature, max out its attack and speed, and you're good to go. Kind of. Not really. But you can't blame a guy for trying, right? Alternatively, you can try and compensate for that loss of speed for a Scarf set. Run Crunch, Return, Final Gambit, and U-turn. Max out its attack and speed and go Adamant again. And as mentioned, pop a Choice Scarf on it. Looking at the two holistically, I feel like Alolan Raticate wins a typing war. Although it has a full times weakness with the addition of 2 other weaknesses, Cantonian Raticate isn't really a defensive Pokemon anyway, so it may as well get access to another typing for extra stab. Alolan Raticate also gets a nice immunity to Psychic and a resistance to Dark. In terms of abilities, I feel like Cantonian Raticate wins the war here. Its ability's Guts is hands down the superior ability out of them all, mainly because this ability suits the role Raticate should be playing in competitive play, that being a physical sweeper. Although Thick Fat makes sense for Alolan Raticate in terms of its design, in battle it doesn't really benefit from it all that much, though arguably Hustle can benefit it far better than it does with Cantonian Raticate. All in all, Raticate's Guts ability gives it the slight edge due to the Facade Toxic Orb combo, and for me makes me believe it outshines its regional variant. In terms of their stats, again Cantonian Raticate wins the war. Although Alolan Raticate has better defenses, it doesn't suit the role it should be playing in competitive play. A few buffs in its defenses are pointless due to its weakness being common types like Fighting and Fairy. Plus it's slower than Cantonian Raticate, leaving it susceptible to being outsped and not being given the opportunity to attack. In terms of their move pool, the win goes to Alolan Raticate, only because both variants learn the same moves through level up, but Alolan Raticate has access to slightly more TMs. However, the moves either variant will actually use do not differ too much, so I wouldn't classify it as a win per se. If it were up to me, I'd opt for... Do you really want me to choose? If I'm being honest, I really don't like either of them. But if I had to choose, and I mean if I really had to choose, I guess I'd choose Alolan Raticate, mainly because it's kind of cuter than the Cantonian variant. Plus, I like how it looks like it stuffed its mouth with lots of food. It's basically me in real life. What about you guys? Which variant do you prefer? Raticate or Alolan Raticate? Leave a comment below stating which you prefer and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why don't you leave a like on this video, because it's free and it makes me happy, and why wouldn't you want to make me happy? It really helps me out, so please do that. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, as I upload nearly every day now, and stay tuned for next week for the next Evolution Solution video, which will be coming every Tuesday of this month as part of Alola month. If you can't wait that long, why not check out some previous episode of the series? Click on the icon on the top right hand corner of the screen, which will take you to the last episode of this series. You can also keep up to date with the Wonderlock series to keep you entertained in the meantime. But also follow me on all my social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook and Pokemon Amino. Links to these will be provided in the description below. And with that being said, I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!